Disclaimer. The information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GAN's processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
innovative, revolutionary, stellar development, purest universal knowledge, in a transformative, futuristic design. The Universal Body Enhancement Spaceship Unit. The very first new evolutionary spaceship technology has been rolled out for mass production. Our Universal Body Enhancement Spaceship Unit is constructed from high-quality materials carefully selected by our team of experts. Embedding and technology, it uses collective plasma field technology for changing and enhancing the environment of the body of the man. This new plasma enhancement changes the environment of the body to allow it to return to its natural, balanced, energetic condition, as in the womb of the mother, allowing every cell in the body of the man to find its natural, original field strength balance. The shape and field distribution in this new space plasma technology replicates the inner structure of the universe and replicates the balance fields from which the man was created at the point of inception in the womb of the mother, not only receiving balance in the physical, but also in the emotional sense too. For the first time in the history of man, a system has been developed and delivered which not only enhances the physical body of the man, but also enhances the emotional part of the user of the system, hence reducing and eliminating many problems that could not be solved in the world of science, to bring the body of the man into near perfection as at the time of birth. This new spaceship technology can be within the reach of every man today and can be ordered by medical practitioners, sports specialists and healthcare centres. The Universal Enhancement Spaceship Unit, the future you have been waiting for, is here. The journey from space to spaceship technology has started. Every order is subject to a contractual agreement and might require additional accessories priced separately for applications according to each case. You can order or contact us at office@at.kfm.global for additional information.
The process of understanding is very simple. The process is, as I explained last time, I explained more in detail. We are created out of the rays within the center of the universe. In interaction and reduction in strength and division by the strength in certain strength fields, in collection of the totality of the expansion of the universe, some energies, some dynamic fields have come together. Over billions of years, these fields lead to the creation of what we call the sun. Where the plasma gathers together. The same process repeats again because the sun is the same as the energy center of the universe. Now, the heavier, the larger amount of the energy which is collected in this span of the universe, called the sun, that it radiates out, does the same thing again. Radiates its fields out, and in interaction with the itself, with the fields of itself, leads to creation of planet. In that process of the creation of planet, the same process happens again. In the interaction of the fields of the earth with its environment and cooling and exchange with the strength of the other things in the environment of the space of the solar system, leads to creation of man, cell, matter state. And that itself, in coming together and slowing down in such certain ways, as we call, leads to another sun. We call the soul of the man. This is the truth about the life and creation of the man. But if the soul of the man can understand and absorb and be correct with his conduct, he can become the strength of the fields and carry the strength of the field of the planet which came to his creation. And if the soul can understand with the same process, can interact, can be correct, can absorb with itself the totality of the strength of what it needs, he shall become the sun. And then the same soul has the energy that it can absorb within the solar system, within the galaxy, shall become the center of the universe. This happens on earth, we call it the rain. Come from and goes back to. In the solar system, we call it planetary system. We come from the rays, we become the planet and go back to the mother. The same thing happens with the galaxies, with the solar systems, which they get absorbed back in and chewed up back into the universe. The life, the process of existence in the universe is the same. It doesn't matter on what exchange and what extent. So, what is the man fighting for? Why do we fight for something which has come from the point of the creation, and in the process it goes back to the creation? The soul of the man, as the energy of the earth, gives the face of the man, the face of the earth, and that process is the same for the soul of the man. Our soul, in reduction in strength, in interaction with the emotion of the field of the environment, leads to manifestation of the existence of the man. But once it's completed, does it need a face? Or can it be and becomes free from it, what we call the soul of the man, to be free and detached from its existence? Our soul is part of the process of the creation. The key to one question, who man shall be in the future, to be answered, as we saw the sun became the earth, and as we saw the earth became the man's soul, what will be the destiny of the soul of the man now becomes free at the point of departure from physicality? Would it become the sun for creation of another life, or many lives, or correction of lives? This shall be, and this is how it happens. When you create a soul which is not correct, which is misconduct by itself, cannot give, you lead to the creation of this next cycle of creation, which has started the wrong way, the wrong strength. This is one thing the man has never understood. You become the creator of another universe, another cycle. And this is what you have to judge within the structure of the soul of the man. What would I like that cycle to be? In the physical life, we create children. In the dimension of the life of the soul of the man, what that man, what that soul will create. If man has thought up to now, that's it, my end, my point, when I die is finished, there's as much fallacy that when the sun is destroyed in any shape or form, there shall be nothing left. But we know the parts of the sun becomes part of the galaxy and becomes part of new life. So shall be the soul of the man. The judgment of the man has to be according to what he sees the future his soul can conduct to be. The day of judgment is for the man, not in front of the Creator. That what my soul judges to be and what shall create. Man never understood and shall never understand till can solve this dilemma within itself. The reality is very, very, very real. And that is, as we've seen, the energy of the galaxy becomes the sun, the energy of the sun has become the earth, and the energy of the earth has become the soul of the man, so shall be the soul of the man, which is the energy itself, another cycle of life. How can you change when you don't understand? How can you change the process of understanding if you do not understand the process of the creation? Do we need to extend the understanding of the man, that what is the future he brings? We care about our children, what education they get, what they wear, how happy they'll be, where they sleep. Now the man has to be careful and consider, what life shall my soul create? Because those are the children of your soul. As we see, the rays of the sun has become a planet and 7 million children of it. 7 billion unlimited, which is growing. So the soul of the man will go through the same process. How many billions and subdivisions and sub-matter state of the physicality of the man your soul shall create? Would it be the soul of wars and conflict and ever killing? Or would it be the soul of this, let's say, solar system, which is peaceful? This is the truth and the reality about the soul of the man. First of all, as I said many times recently, we never understood that the soul of the man is within the structure of the man. And now that we understood, we understand on departure from the physicality of the man, the same process will carry on as it did to a star, planet, and the soul of the man becomes another energy source, a higher order, which itself leads to the creation. It becomes the star, it becomes the center of the new cycle of creation. This is what the human race has to understand. The cycle actually starts at the point of death and not finishes at the point of death. In so many ways, if one understands, is as the dusts, specks of dust came together to make the earth in the solar system, so has the specks of the atoms has come to be the creator of the man. And the essence of the creation of the specks of dust on the solar system has led to the creation of the man, so shall be the fields from the soul of the man which lead to creation of another cycle of life. What kind of life man would like to have to be created by his soul? This is the day of judgment. This is what man never understood. Now you have to understand. You have no choice. Up to today you were not aware of it. From today you are aware of it. You are responsible for it. Your conduct has to be to elevate your soul. That in elevating the soul, what you become the creator of stands correct in the conduct of the citizens. We don't give fairy tale. This is the truth about it. As you've seen, the process does not stop with one sun. The cycle carries on. It's very interesting in how humanity, now knowing the fact, will handle the fact. It'll take decades for man to understand, and then you understand those who become the tools of war, the tools of conflict. They have less, they have nothing to start with. They have to become the dust in the solar system of the others till the day they learn more. As they cannot create a new cycle through their own soul. This is the elevation of the soul of the man. To be part of the creation of a beautiful life for the next cycle. When you don't have it, you have to become another cell in the body of the structure of the bigger, for you to be just there that you can run when you could have been the soul of the man. They say, do will not create fear. I give you the point of love for creation. If you cared about your children on this planet to have the best, your true children come out of your own soul in the coming time. How would you like to educate them? How would you like to be when you are in conflict with yourself and the cause of so much mayhem? This is the truth, and the man will take a long time to understand, as now that we understand the soul of the man is the operator for the creation of the future extent of the life of the man. Whatever is gathered by the soul at the end becomes his point of reference of his own creation, of his own dimension. But the strangest thing is, what he creates from his soul shall become the creator of the other souls. This is the beauty about the creation, and one understands it, understands no limitation. Any questions?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 399th Knowledge Seekers Workshop here on Thursday, September 23rd, 2021. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Education Department and part of the public teachings in English. My name is Rick Crammond. I'll be host today, once again, in this weekly workshop series. And as Leanna has said in one of the chats, can you guys believe we are at 399 Knowledge Seekers workshops? Wow, it is incredible. Thank you, Mr. Keshe, for all you have given us. So thank you, Leanna, for that. And speaking of Mr. Keshe, are you ready to begin today's workshop, Mr. Keshe?
Yes, good morning, good day to you, as usual, wherever and whenever you listen to this series of Knowledge Seekers of the Keshe Foundation. You're welcome back to another 399th session, and maybe we learn a little bit more. I asked for the intro to be played about the soul because today we bring a distinct line between what is in the intro and what is with the process of extension to the knowledge of the man. Up to now, when we spoke about the soul leaving the body of the man as a light to become another plasma, to become the source of creation of another cycle of life, another seed in the cycle. This is what the knowledge was. This is what we could teach you till then. With a new understanding of past few weeks, there is an extension to this teaching. There is an extension to this understanding. Up to then, as you understood, you could leave the body, and that was the beginning of another cycle in the process of the gathering of the energies of the field of universe within the cocoon of the brain. A black hole, which when its energy released, became a universe, it became a galaxy, it became a star. But that was beginning of a cycle. Now what we have taught you in the past few weeks is you don't go through that process. We showed you another process to be able to move the soul to dimensions and positions where you want without becoming a star. You still be in charge, you still as part of you. You come to travel with the light, to manifest yourself in another point and destination, but this time you have a control. The soul of physicality of the man has chosen not to separate totality in essence from his soul. We travel from London to Tehran. We still get the same physical body when we arrive, when we left. In this process, we travel with the light and stop using the means of transportation of today. We use the means of transportation which is embedded with us. When we arrive in Tehran, we are still us, the same clothes, the same suitcase, the same hairdo and the rest of it. But this time when we travel to the position of the destination in the universe, because of the different conditions and atmosphere, we have to manifest ourselves in a different way. We move from London. It's beautiful and sunny, and we land in Tehran. It's snow and rain. We put the jacket on, we put the raincoat on. We adapt ourselves to the new environment that we feel good. But when we arrive to the point of destination, traveling with the soul of the man, what happened then? This is what I put in the other teachings the past few weeks. What then? What is our manifestation then? 2 arms and 2 legs does not suffice. An eye and lips and mouth and taste has no meaning. What then? How do we manifest ourselves? What then? Or do we manifest ourselves in the dimension of physicality, of the point in that place? And now we see the soul coming to us. The body is different, but the soul is the same. The body has changed to the dimension of the environment, but the soul is the same. The soul of physicality and the soul of the man are the same, but the physicality has changed to suit the place. What then? What do we do? What happened when you touch one part of your body and is a stranger to you? Because this is not a body you had 2 arms and 2 legs on earth. What then? How do we adjust ourselves to the new texture, to the new feature, to the new shape? Can we accept it? Can we understand still us? Is still within it is the soul of the man which created the seeds of it on earth. And now he hasn't come to demise, he's chosen a new place, a new dimension, a new environment. What then? They speak different languages and they have different understanding of communication. What then? Do we have to go to classes as a foreigners to go to learn the language? Or by approaching and then reaching the point of physicality, we carry the knowledge. We carry the essence of the creation at the point of time. As I said before, those who enter the dimension of the physical transmutation through the soul of physicality, going from London speaking English and into Tehran speaking Farsi, they naturally transmute to. They know the language, the way the Hafiz al-Zan, the poetry, the love of the language. What then? Would we understand the poetry of the land where we land in the space of the universe? Or we are foreigners? Or we have to go to night classes to learn language, to understand the culture, to be given a visa to be able to stay. As our language and our culture is so better than the others, if you don't understand it, you're not allowed to stay. But when you learn in the dimension of the soul and the dimension of physicality, you carry every attribute of the place, the time and position. You know the culture, you know the language, you know the way to communicate, and you know how to be. Because your soul has been allowed to exist, so the soul of the environment and the community and where you landed gives you everything, like the way a mother teaches everything to the child, but in the dimension of the soul. You never need to learn anything, as is part of you, as your soul has been accepted. And then, what's that? Would you fall in love with a dimension of existence? Would your DNA change? Because in that position and time, you need different composition to be able to survive. What then? How would it feel? It's like waking up a coma. And in the process of being in coma, they have done different operations. They took the skin from your leg and they put it on your hands, and the feeling is different. This is not the feeling I knew. This is not the touch I knew. It's different. I feel I'm there, but the physicality is not the same. I feel it's me, but the physicality, the touch, the smell is different. What then? How would man cope with this? Or would you freak out and return back to earth because this is what I know, this is what I want to have and stay? What then? How would your soul of physicality, the dimension of the soul of the man, accept the new condition, the new touch, the new smell, the new emotions, the new language, and you find yourself fluent in it before even you talk? What then? Then wouldn't man become the true man of universe and truly has joined the universal community? Or do I become, or do we all become the expat, as we call it? We travel with UFOs and we gather together, and when we land in a place on the moon or another position, we all stay together because we are humans. We carry the physicality of human and we walk around with a mask and a spacesuit because we don't want to go through the transition. We go to night classes and learn, and we try to understand new language, and we open new dictionaries. There are no dictionaries in the dimension of the soul of the man, as he understands all languages of the universe, as is connected to all through his emotion. The position comes, what then? The truth is, what then? When the soul of the man finds a new physicality to handle it, to be in touch with, to accept to be the new dimension. As I said to you, those of you who've been around the foundation, different teachings, the messengers of God go through this phase. They get born in the physicality of the man at a point and a time and a dimension the soul of the Creator moves within. They feel strange, the physicality doesn't fit the body. And in so many ways, the physicality does not connect, but it has to, because the soul of the physicality has come to touch and has come to fall in love with the soul, which has taken a new place. It's a new touch you got to get adjusted to. It's a new feeling, a new body. It's a strange emotion. And then what then? All messages of Creator go through the same when the soul of the Creator moves within their soul. Their physicality overnight has to accept the new soul, which has got taste to another dimension of life. And now everything is strange to the soul of the man and to the soul of physicality. But physicality is there, and he has and he needs to handle the condition of the new soul within it. What then? Then the Creator speaks through the physicality of the man, as that's the only way it can be done. This is the way the messages of God release and inform the others as they go through the same. They lead, they create, they receive the enlightenment through the soul. But that enlightenment is not just a message sometimes. Sometimes it's the soul of the Creator within their soul, and the body is a stranger to them. It feels different. The feeling, the touch is not the same, But the soul and physicality and soul of physicality have to understand the new touch, the new way to connect, the new way to interact. And then, according to the understanding of the time and the space and the soul, different evolution of the cycle of the soul of the man starts. More educated. Then it connects to the other souls, to them, for them to be educated. As you read in other teachings, I have explained, I've been through this 3 times to receive the final understanding. When you get up, when you wake up, the body is a stranger to the soul. The touch is not there. It's not what I went to sleep with. This is not what I had. And it takes days to get used to. But you still carry on. You still try to live a normal life, but inside there is a war. This is not me. I don't feel the same. I don't touch the same. I don't speak the same. I don't understand the same. Then, what happened then? What happens to you when you land on a point and destination, the new physicality? You have to adjust to be able to survive within the environment of the time, position, space, and the strength of the field. What then? Would you accept the new changes? Or would you go through the cycle of the understanding? Where on earth every 24 hours was one day, and now every 1,000 hours is one day. Where am I going to find my 8 hours sleep? Where am I going to find the dimension of the communication? Or on this planet, 1,000-hour day, there is no sleep because there is no need for. What then? What and how would you feel then? Miss home, go back to the dimension of the soul and soul of physicality and return back home to earth. Or accept, live, enjoy, and understand a new position and create a new life. It might last you 1,000 years one day. When you come back, those citizens of the earth, long gone in the dimension of physicality, and those who took the dimension of the soul, come back, and if you see them, they're still the same 1,000 years later. This is how we survive for thousands of years on this planet. We change the frock of the physicality to another dimension, to manifest ourselves in the shape of Moses, Christ, Muhammad, or the best. But in essence, it's the same soul. The same dimension of soul of physicality. The same essence of the Creator. The knowledge, the understanding. Now you understand why we teach this way. That the man understands the new dimension of existence once you decide to choose the path of the transportation and transmutation through the soul of the man, and not through the dimension of physicality of the matter state of the man. Life is different. And then, when you become the citizen of the new place, what then? Would you call mom? Would you call your lover? Would you call your child to come with me and see what a beautiful place is? And would they come to see you? Would you be able to transmute to them the essence of the language and the knowledge of the position and the place through the soul and the connection you have with your loved ones to them, that they see the beauty of the new place and they join you? Mom, come to Tehran, it's so beautiful. I leave London and I get on a plane. This time I get on my soul with the speed of the light of the universe. I arrive to see what beauty my son sees. What have I missed that the new dimension has brought? This is the truth that many of you will face in the short time to come. This is what many of you have to choose. This is what none of you who accepts the transmutation through the soul can escape from. As I said, when you arrive at a point and destination, What happens if you choose a civilization in knowledge and technology years and years ahead of man? The knowledge man never knew, and you come back home and you want to start a new technology to teach you others about what you have seen and what you can teach, that they become as advanced to do what they do. In the recent talks in the United Nations, we hear that His Excellency President Biden speaks about new technology. New technology. We need new technology. The Keshe Foundation is that technology that the world leaders are looking for. And they're being on the table of talks. Technology in exchange for peace. The knowledge of universe on the table for man. If the man becomes a peaceful man, what then? What is the essence of it? Why do we create all these physical interactions to just get to some, to bring the change that all understand? Can't we reach the soul of all those who created on this planet and elevate them in one point? No, man has to learn it himself. Man has to understand that it's he who has to go through the evolution. It's he who has to understand the language of universe, is who he wants to be in the dimension of existence, anywhere in the universe. Be the same in the soul and soul of physicality. It doesn't matter what the frog outside changes. 2 hands, 10 arms, 15 legs. No difference. The true man is the man who lives a simple life, but has the wealth of the universe. The true man is the one who never changes if sits on the table of the kings or the peasants. Still is the man. It's the way we teach you and it's the way we live. Now mankind has to understand what is for him to come. The king is the creator. And the man, the peasant, is the physicality of the life we choose anywhere in the universe. The soul is the same. The understanding is the same. Is what we carry within us which counts. What we give and we share is what we understand that's within us. The soul of the creation, the soul of knowledge, the soul of understanding the totality, the soul of being part of, the soul of being equal, one. This is one of the reasons we create one nation, one planet, one race, as it's not just for the man, it's the same across the universe. There is one race across the universe. It's one nation. And it's only one creator. It's just we change it to the word and time and the place that the citizens of the place and time understand and can relate to. But in essence, the truth is the same across. It's just what you understand, what you grasp to be and part of. As I said in the teachings of the past, what then? What then we want to be? What then we bring to the environment we become part of? What then we bring as a love to give and promote and share with the new citizens of our soul? Mankind needs to understand the process of the change. Mankind needs to understand the process of what is to come. And then there will not be then. There'll be all the same. In respect of wearing the frog of a peasant or a king. We saw it with the Christ as a king, and we saw it with Muhammad as a merchant. But in fact, the soul within them was the same soul, and within the soul of the present prophets. In a way, you have to understand, changing the frog does not change the man when it comes to the soul of the Creator. He chooses the frog, he chooses the physicality, but he sets the path. But when he leaves the soul of the man, due to the failures of the man, we see the manifestation of the Moses, the killing machine, the most devastating soul ever existed in a dimension of time and place. 1 minute the king, and 1 minute a killing machine. This is why the love of God has been taken from the tribe of Moses, as his children never learned what was taught to them, Father, and they repeated the same. We test the fire with gold, and we test the man to see how good the man is when we put him in front of gold. Would he change? We tested the tribe of Moses again in past decades, and they failed again, and they became the same killing machine as their master. So we end this tribe, that this blood cannot exist if the dimension of the killing could not be erased from the essence of creation. In a time, no one should know this dimension and the name of Moses, as it's better to be in the love of Christ and Muhammad than those who have become killing machine in their name. Mankind has to learn the same when it becomes the passengers of the space. Never touch, never take what is not given to you, and at the same time, when you're given to, respect it, love it, care for it, and mature it. And this is the way the Creator lives. And then it comes, what then? What then if after staying in a dimension, position, and place for a while, and you decide, it was a nice place. I want to see the other side of the universe. I want to go to another universe. I want to see more of the Creator's dimensions. Now, hop back into the soul of physicality and hop back into the soul, and then take another journey to another place and dimension. But in essence, within the soul of the man stays the soul of physicality with no dimension of destruction. Nothing but love. Nothing but the love of the Creator. And then, let's say you appear in another dimension where the man was some thousands of years ago. And as you've seen a lot, and as you've seen the changes in the universe and you chose it yourself, you become knowledgeable in front of the nomads. And you can teach them about the cars, and you can teach them about the communications, but you can teach them about transportation and transmutation through the soul. Which one would you teach? Would you let them to go through the process of physicality and suffering to educate them over thousands of years? Or you teach them directly the essence of the creation of the soul, transportation and transmutation through the soul of the man. Then, what then? Would you become the true teacher? Would you become the true knowledge seeker, that in seeking the best for those you teach the knowledge becomes the advantage for them to live, to become better being, to become a new dimension in life? What then? What then if you decide after a while, when you educated all these, you go to another place? You come to a new city, to a new dimension, a planet or a dimension in space that there is no physicality, except that dimension of the fields of the universe. And what then? In essence, man should stay the same. Does not matter where and how he manifests himself. Man has to become the man of peace, the man of love, the man of Christ, and the man of Rashid. Think good, do good, and everything will be good. Because you will not talk. Because you communicate through the dimension of the soul, understanding does not need talking. In essence, how do we live? In essence, how do we find the new cycle of life for us, where the demise and the separation has not come the way man dies in the new dimension? Without its control is decided by outside. This time we decide. The dimension of the soul of physicality decides the dimension of the position, space, and time where the soul will manifest itself. The soul becomes the craft, and the soul of physicality within becomes the captain and decides, hey soul, let's land on this planet. Hey soul, let's see how will it feel if we become physical in this space and time when there is no planet. Would we see new creation? Would we see a new civilization which has chosen to live without dimension of the planet and physicality, but in dimension of the fields of the universe? Mankind will live and will come to these tribes. They are the most beautiful things you ever see. The most peaceful tribes, the most peaceful creation ever done by the Creator. Those of you who have the privilege to come across what are called cultures of the universal energy and fields in the culture of entity, of community, you have in essence touched the physicality and the dimension of the thought and emotion of the Creator. As they have no dimension of physicality, they have a peaceful life, and they will teach your soul. Not many will ever be lucky enough to come across these, across the travels of the universe and universe. But when you come across them, you are privileged, because you come closest to the way the Creator as the fields of the universe exist. They don't need to do anything. They receive as He passes them, and they give as they don't need. And they don't need a dimension of physicality that one day they might see their demise. They live for billions of years, and some of these tribes come from the time of the first fields of the creation. The old, the ancient, that's what we call the coin. The real term, time, life, going back to the time of the Creator. The first fields where there was no dimension of physicality and still has not taken shape. The fields are so much higher that they don't need to convert to any dimension, in the dimension of the soul of physicality. Count yourself lucky if you manage to travel in the dimension of the soul, and then you ever come across the true life without dimension of physicality within the span of the universe. When you come across these communities, you feel them, you love them, and they love you, and with it they give you the knowledge of the universe in one instance, as their fields and the span of their fields covers the whole of universe. And then if you're lucky enough and you have elevated to the point of understanding through them, you shall see the fields of the Creator. You become lucky to be in touch, to be able to feel the emotions of the Creator, the love which is overwhelming for every soul which ever created and being created. This is what then is. What then? What is the future of the man in space? What then? What is the future of the man in traveling in the dimension of the soul? What then? Would man in the dimension of the soul create the children of the universe? And with it starts a new cycle. A new cycle of life, which lives in understanding the dimension of physicality and dimension of the soul from the outset, from the beginning, the mitra. Understanding the soul of unique, complete life in time mankind will understand the teaching of today. In time, we have shown you from A to Z. What then? What then will be, and how then shall be controlled by the soul of the physicality of the man embedded with the soul of the man, where the interaction of the two creates the emotion of the physicality or the emotion of the light in transportation and transmutation of the universe. The question for the knowledge seekers is, shall I let the soul separate from the dimension of physicality of the physical light and be what we know as death? Or shall I allow my soul and the soul of physicality to become the passenger of the universe, that one day, when the two agree, I'll go through the process of the soul of the man to become that star? Or in the process of what then? In gathering more fields of the universe, in understanding that you receive as you give, then instead of a star, you become the fields of a universe. You become the field creation of the galaxy. And then you become part of the structure of the universe. What then? Go through the path of the mankind to the dimension of physicality, and you might become the seed of the sun, or go through the dimension of the transportation, transmutation, understanding and educating your soul, and become the soul of the universe. This time, the choice is man's choice. This time, the life will change in the dimension that the man cannot understand, but the soul of the man is fully aware of his existence. What then? That then is today in front of you. That then is what is facing you right in your face. Do I want to go through the separation of the totality of the physicality and the soul at the point of death? Or I decide that I collaborate and I live within the strength of the soul of the man and the soul of physicality of the man, and have the opportunity, maybe, the gratitude to see the fields of the creation of the Creator in the dimension of the universe. And then maybe my soul will separate in that dimension and directly become part of the soul of the Creator. And then I made man in the image of myself, as the man has become me and part of me. What then? What then that the lies and rays of the love of the Creator, the spanning the spans of the universe, leads to creation of another man through the soul of the Creator, maybe on planet Earth. And then, what then? The cycle never finishes. It's the man who decides in which part of the trip to get out of the bus, and decide to live at this bus stop and spend sometimes here till the next bus or the bus tomorrow, while I'm enjoying the scenery of the new bus stop, the new point and dimension. And maybe tomorrow or next month, I'll get on the bus and move to the next city, next village, next destination to start a life. This is the story of the soul of the man in the dimension of understanding the soul of physicality. Maybe we have brought from the A to Z of the vocabulary of the understanding of the creation to you today. If you understood, if you're mature enough to understand what is to come, what then? Where does the limitation stops? And where does the limitation start? And then ask yourself, why mankind has been choosing such a suffering on this planet for hundreds of thousands of years, for a short time of a few seconds of the time of the universe, to become the seed for another point dimension and life. Maybe because the soul of the man carries the love of the soul of the Creator within it. And that love tolerates all till it reaches the point of totality to become the teacher of the rest in the dimension of the universe. Preparing the soul of the man to become the teachers of the future. But this time, a good teacher, understanding everything and a peaceful teacher. As I said, in the past teachings, the new teachings are very deep if one understands. And if one does not understand, it's again the same as that is. Just a sound, just a voice and a fairy tale for those who live in the dimension of physicality of the man. In understanding the totality, mankind has to come to understand the position, time and space of the universe. His position within the universe, the position of his soul of physicality and the soul of the man. And then maybe we have time to teach you more. Maybe then we can teach you the essence of the creation and the creator. Today's teaching is very deep if you understand it, and today's teaching is much closer to understanding the creator and the travel of the man in depth of the universe. Do not listen to the words. Understand the essence, and you'll be enlightened. Thank you very much for today. Rick, if you would like to go through a break, then we come back.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Keshe. Thank you very much for that. And we'll take a break here with some commercial messages from our Keshe Foundation store, and be back in a few minutes. Thank you, everyone.
Water is the foundation of our life. It is part of every living creature. Pure water gives you the energy of nature. Now you can have this energy in your home. The Keshe Foundation Alkalizer and Energizer is designed for your daily well-being. It increases the pH of the water so your body can absorb more oxygen and stay in its natural condition during the day. Keshe Foundation Alkalizer and Energizer. Be pure like the water.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 399th Knowledge Seekers Workshop here on Thursday, September 23rd, 2021. I believe we're ready to begin the second part of today's show. Hello, Mr. Keshe.
Yes, we are back again, and we'll start the second part of the teaching in a very different way. Many of you are making your way to Austria to be with us for the opening of the permanent place of the Keshe Foundation Exhibition Center, Television Center, what we call the Teaching Center. Many of you have been waiting for it to be announced, and today with a very simple intro, we welcome you to your center, to your exhibition center, where the man will see for the first time collectively the knowledge of the future of space technology. You will not be the only ones who go through this exhibition center, as many world leaders in the coming days and weeks will walk through it the same as you do. We have most what we call eminent scientists, world leaders, and those who are the negotiators of peace will walk through this exhibition center to understand what is to come and how the life of the man will change on this planet. We'll announce furthermore other positions and times for this exhibition center, but you will learn something new. You will learn something about what and how the life of the man will be. We will see the future of man, space-time and travel, and how to handle the what we call the interactions of the fields of the universe with man. We welcome you to your own center. And Rick, if you would like to play the first series of videos of the series of introducing the new center, the new exhibition center in Nesby.
It would be a pleasure. Thank you, Mr. Keshe.
Thank you very much. As you've seen, this is a new home for Keshe Foundation Space Center. And if you notice, above the building, there is a structure of UFO. On this building, there are 2 UFO structures, and we brought you to the door, but we have not taken you in. We opened the doors on the 2nd of October, Saturday at 9 o'clock. And please don't ask for favors. Can we come in because we are a friend or whatever? It opened to everyone at 9 o'clock on Saturday morning, 2nd October. And as you can see, we are a space technology and we have a structure of UFO above the entrance of the new center. As you've seen, you can get to us by train, by bus, and the tram is just a few hundred meters away, a couple of hundred meters to walk in. And we have made it easy for everyone to reach, to see. And in so many ways, the understanding of the new technology, new space technology, needs understanding of the dream of the man, where the knowledge of UFO sits below the UFO, where the man can learn to become part. We welcome you to the what is known in Linz as a massive center. It's known as a UNO center. It used to be what we call a shopping mall, and now it's empty. And in the future, we will have more news about what is to come with the Keshe Foundation and its new center. We open the first centers around the world in this way, and Linz will stay a permanent center of the exhibiting the edge of the science and technology in the space, following the centers to be opened up in Iraq. In so many ways, we have reached a permanent understanding of the technology, and maybe in a very near future, man will take off from this position into space. The units, what you've been dreaming for, are within the frame of this center. You enter a space, but the knowledge is the knowledge of the Creator, if you understand it. Otherwise, it's a bottle and a tube and a ball. Welcome you all to this new horizon in knowledge and technology in Linz. And we welcome you to understand the totality of what is to come. A permanent place, and a place where we all can share. The address of the center is on the screen, and you can find your way. But please make sure you inform us before you come in, as we control everything. You have to understand the nation of Austria is under Corona protection COVID alert. You need to have vaccination and other, what they call the 3Gs, otherwise you'll not be allowed in. You have to have a certificate of what government of Austria has asked us to have. At the entrance, there's a place you have to show your test, your whatever else which is allowed by the government, that you'll be allowed in the exhibition. We will not risk any problems by those who just think it can be done. We'll provide testing facilities at the entrance if your time of the test has lapsed or you cannot get it. So you can do self-testing on the spot, and if the answer is okay, but the message coming through your phone by the central government organizations which are controlling the COVID in Austria, you'll be allowed in. This is a 2 days of what we call teaching and workshop. This workshop is not making something. This workshop is a workshop of brain, how you work your way, understanding and intelligence. What we call the UFO has landed. Above the door, you will see it. And the beauty of it is the knowledge of the Creator has landed for humanity. It's for us to understand it. Once you walk through this door, the matter state of the man finishes and a new cycle of life through fields, energies, and plasmas start. It'll be a wonderful time. We have beautiful time for us all to share, and we welcome you all to be part of what we call the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute, and to be part of the knowledge seekers to gain knowledge. This exhibition is open 5 days a week from 9 to 5, and children from the schools, universities across Europe and across the world will be invited to come in. Scientists from NASA, Russian Space Agency, and the others will walk through these doors in coming days. Some of the richest men in the world have already booked their time to be here even before the opening to see how they can change before the 2nd of October opening. We try to make it possible that we all understand. We all fall within the conformity of understanding the position. Some of you might turn up and find out in some occasions the center is locked down because we have dignitaries that the government does not want to know they're with us. And with lockdown, we just have to wait a few hours till the dignitaries have left the premises as the world leaders and scientists come to see what is to be done. In so many ways of understanding, the world has moved on and we move with it. And in a way, the time of becoming the travel of the universe has started. And many of us will be educated within the walls of this center in the coming months to come. Thank you very much, Rick. And you're welcome to your new home, where truly we deliver the knowledge of the space technology to matter space with the rockets and the rest. Thank you very much, Rick. You just get to the front door. To cross that door, you need to wait a little bit longer. We will not broadcast live the opening, and we are very clear to those who come to the center. Do not transmit or open any pictures to public till the Keshe Foundation has done trying to be clever to go on the internet. We ban you right across Keshe Foundation, all your chat rooms. We are very clear. We have a reason we are doing this. And those of you who come and take pictures of being there, keep it in your camera. Don't share it on the Facebook. We'll find it. You'll be banned from Keshe Foundation for good. We are very serious because these are political, diplomatic places where we work, and we keep it that way till we decide to release. Thank you very much, Rick. And I hope you're welcome to your home.
It's a very beautiful structure, Mr. Keshe, that's fitting for the new technology to be introduced. I think it's a great occasion. Thank you for showing.
You're welcome. We got to understand Keshe Foundation has many enemies who are working paid by governments to discredit Keshe Foundation and to do all sorts of things. So we are very careful in how we handle our presentation and our position. We already been attacked by the couple of pedophiles in Linz and in Germany who found out where the center is before we announced it, and they tried to affect it, but actually gave us a better understanding to the people that how situation is, and even those in Linz didn't know these people are part of pedophile groups. And it was very amazing to see how things have developed and changed since we opened the exhibition last year in the design center in Linz. In 12 months, there's been a lot of development. You will see for the first time the vertical and the horizontal units, which the vertical unit is parallel to the transmutation and transportation systems, which will come into the center sometime in the next few weeks. In that process, there's an extension to the knowledge. We might even put or display for the first time the vision enhancement units, and then what we call the fracture units, and the rest gradually. Every time you come, you will see new developments and new cycles. Many of you know most of the materials, but in a way is for others who are not familiar with our work to come and see and understand the change. We welcome you to the new home of the Keshe Foundation, the Spaceship Institute, Keshe Foundation TV, Keshe Foundation Manufacturing, and Keshe Foundation Sales. And you will see all of them under the same roof. And maybe we have some more news for you in a coming time regarding this, what we call exhibition center. Anything else, Rick? I know you have a good news. You're waiting for Friday, maybe to be part of another space program.
Yes, there's. I put out a posting, and we can show it here. Basically, the Create the Future Design Contest, which we've already announced that the Spaceship unit is placed second place in the contest and is the most popular entry in terms of views as well. But now the 24 judges are doing their judging of the 500 entries, and they have the final say on who actually wins each part of the 7 categories and the overall winner. So they're going to announce the overall winners, all the winners, on Friday, September 24th at 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is the same as 5 p.m. Central European Time. And so they say, join us and find out if your entry has been selected. Registration is now open at it's got an email, and I'll put the email address into the chat here. I've got that. And
I think
you have to actually register at the email address, and then you can watch the contest live. Pardon me, Mr. Keshe?
Would you like to put it on the screen? Because when we close down, they can't see.
I'm sorry. I thought that already came through. Okay, so this is the the email that I got, and other people who already registered for the contest to vote also got these emails, and basically it just tells you that the contest will be announced live this Friday, September 24th, again at 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is 5 p.m. Central European Time. And I'll put the registration email address into the chat here so that you can directly access it, and then you can watch the proceedings of the award show in live real time. I don't know if you can interact, if it's on Telegram or if it's on some sort of other format. But we'll have to just wait and see, I guess. And
this is a NASA program, is it? Promoted
It's through what's called Tech Briefs, which is a NASA publication. And that's their sort of their go-between with all where they detail out the innovations and different inventions and so on that they are connected with. And this is their annual contest that they have for designs, for innovation in the design world, and it's open to the whole world. And there's over 500 entries this year, and the Universal Body Enhancement Spaceship unit placed in second place in terms of the popular vote. And that was the first part of this contest, and that was just terrific.
Is it just in the medical side, popular vote, or in total competition?
Overall, over the whole thing, second place overall. It's at the top of the medical in terms of its popular vote.
Wouldn't it be an irony if NASA accepts Keshe Foundation technology to be number one?
Well, they'll either accept it or totally reject it, and I'm not sure which way it's going to go. It's sort of 50-50.
I'll go with the second one at the moment.
Well, they're in a difficult position, so like they say, between a rock and a hard spot, because they are forced to accept this plasma technology. Even their own people are telling them plasma, plasma, plasma. Every time they turn around, there's somebody coming up with something new to do with plasma. And so they're forced to pay attention to it. And they are looking for new ideas at the same time, because their ideas are kind of worn out. And they really need some input from a source of inspiration. Pardon me?
NASA has a plasma program for a space. They're trying to create a plasma propulsion system.
Yes, trying is the key word. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, this is where they need a bit of help, a bit of a booster, so to speak, to get a greater understanding and to be able to more utilize the idea of plasma. I don't think they've considered a plasma reactor that creates fields in a real sense, for example.
Yeah, but NASA plasma propulsion is headed by the most frequent astronaut flyer as a pilot. He's from South America, and he's responsible for the plasma propulsion. If you go through the internet, and the most frequent flyer till about 10 years ago is, I think he is from, I've spoken with him and his family. He's a great advocate of plasma technology, but most as an astronaut, when they come up the what I call line of duty, they are given other positions to be still involved with NASA, and he's been made in charge of the plasma propulsion rockets of the what do you call it, NASA. Maybe we'll come across him. Any other news? Let's see, I'm sure by Friday night you will bombard us where we are. Disqualified, and something else is more, better, whatever. But either way, it was informing the public with it. Do you have any other news to share?
Well, we
By
should
the way,
mention
how are we going to share the prize?
How are we going to share the prize?
Yep.
Well, first of all, we have to send somebody to New York City to receive the prize, unfortunately. So we'll have to find a representative there. There we go. Arzar can go,
or we send Armin.
John. Armin would be good.
A representative of. We'll see many of the knowledge seekers in the opening of the exhibition. We know knowledge seekers from Russia and Far East, and people from United States are coming to the opening, and maybe we'll ask them, some of them, to turn up to accept what we call the award. Any other news? Anything else you want to share before we go to public questions?
I just want to mention about the Greek conference. I'm just trying to find my blurb for that.
Yeah, it's a virtual conference. We're supposed to speak tomorrow, 24th. And this is the second one. We joined the first one last time, if you were with us. And we'll see what comes of this presentation this time. We'll see how we will share knowledge and what comes with it in sharing knowledge.
Now, the deal with this is what they call the second Beyond Books publication, international virtual multidisciplinary research conference. And to attend, you have to register, okay? So there's, I'll send the link to register into the chat once again here.
You can do
so this is the registration for, I put in what it's for, so people know. And so when you click on that registration, it'll take you to this form, and you have to fill in the form in order to go to this conference and be able to attend, apparently. So, or to see what's going on there. It's all pretty straightforward. You don't have to fill in the most of the things. I think you have to choose the attendance category, though. It doesn't say required, but the email, your email is required. It doesn't seem to require your name and so on, but mostly your email. But you have to choose in the attendance category, participant without certificate. And if you do that, then you can register for free, because you have to, otherwise there's a registration fee. Okay, so that's the key to getting into this, is to select participant without certificate in the attendance category. And then you just submit at the bottom here, and you won't have to pay anything because it's free, and it should go through automatically.
Thank you very much.
That makes sense. So there's a trick there I found on their website there, that they, in order to watch the proceedings, you have to sign up, apparently.
Yep.
Is your part recorded or anything, Mr. Keshe? Do you do it live, or is it all pre-recorded, or how does that work?
Live. Last time was live. Last time was from Philippines. This time I think it's from Greece.
Yes, right.
And this is done by people who follow the work of the Keshe Foundation in Greece, and we'll see.
Okay, very good. We've had someone with their hand up here, so perhaps we can move forward to questions now. Are you ready for that, Mr. Keshe?
Willing, able, yep.
Okay. This is Yvonne, and I'm not sure, I don't think we've met her before, but if you can go ahead, Yvonne, you should be able to open your microphone there now. Hello, Yvonne, can you open your, I'll try to unmute. There, it's unmuted. Can you go ahead? Do you need a translator?
Yes, sí, I have.
Portuguese?
No, no Portuguese.
Spanish?
Spanish, maybe John, maybe.
John is sitting in the background. Let me see. Other knowledge seekers in Spanish. Okay.
I pressure Rick for mention.
John
I need
is,
translation for sure my question, please.
you can speak in Spanish. John is
Yes,
here.
I am speaking Spanish. Understanding English very well, because no speaking English.
No
fast.
problem.
Okay.
Speak in Spanish. John is here to translate. John, is your microphone open?
Oh, maybe Salomea,
Wait.
maybe Lizzie.
Please, 1
Maybe
second.
Lizzie.
John is online, but we're trying to see if he can open
I know. It's Johnny's translation for the team Mexican and
Just
Latina.
wait. He is online. Just wait.
Yes.
If
Okay.
he can.
John is there. John, ¿me escuchas?
He cannot open his line.
John.
Is he there, Rick?
Maybe Salomea, maybe.
Salomea does speak Spanish.
Maybe. It's
Just-
short. It's very.
Just wait a second, please. Just wait a second.
Okay.
We have Alberto. Alberto has a hand up here.
Yeah.
I think he can help us.
Let's go from Spanish to CSS.
Hello, Alberto.
Rick, thank you.
Oh, John's got a mic open now too. They can duke it out to see who wants to do the translating.
Yes,
Hi, this is Alberto. How
John
may I
está
help?
traduciendo el equipo español.
Okay. Alberto, would you?
Maybe Salomea, maybe.
No.
What about Alberto here?
Alberto is
Okay,
here.
okay.
Hola, ¿cómo puedo servirte?
Hello. Bueno,
Con
tenía una
frases
pregunta.
pequeñas, por favor. Frases pequeñas, por favor, ¿ok?
Sí, ok. Buenas noches.
Good evening.
Yo tengo una pregunta para Mr. Keshe.
I have a question for Mr. Keshe.
En relación a todo lo que mencionó del alma y todo lo que mencionó de esto.
About everything that you have mentioned about the soul and everything today.
Y lo que se ha avanzado en lo que viene siendo la fundación.
¿Puedes repetir eso, por favor?
En lo que se ha avanzado un poquito en la fundación.
And that in which we had advanced in the foundation.
Mi pregunta es concreta. Es ¿cómo podemos salir, o sea, cómo el alma puede salir de la división de habló mucho de la fisicalidad hoy, lo escuché.
I'd like to ask how the soul can leave, you spoke a lot about physicality today.
Y de todo lo que trae la fundación ahora para nosotros.
And that all of which the foundation is bringing for us.
Okay. ¿Cómo se lo podemos decir a las demás personas?
How can we tell others about this?
Educate them.
Educándolos.
Educate them to understand. If you go to people and just say this, because they have not educated, they laugh at you. Educate them that they understand the way we educated you, and then they understand. This is the process of teaching, has been for mankind for thousands of years. We educate our peoples to become doctors and to operate. You don't get somebody off the street and putting in an operating room to become a surgeon. You need to educate.
Okay. La educación.
Say it into Spanish.
Ok, en español. Bueno, voy a decir en español. La educación sí la entiendo, Mr. Keshe, pero...
I understand about education, Mr. Keshe.
Somos una fundación, digo, estamos, digamos, no sé si se dice contra las vacunas. Yo quería hablar de ese tema por mi madre, que yo quería preguntar hoy.
Ok, ¿puedes repetir un poquito más preciso, por favor?
Estamos en la educación para los conocedores del conocimiento. Los que sabemos esto, sabemos qué es lo que es la fundación, pero hay gente que no sabe. ¿Puedes traducir eso?
Necesito que sea un poquito más específica porque ya eso lo hablamos.
Ok, yo sé. Pero, por ejemplo, mi madre viene de Estados Unidos y no se ha vacunado porque cree en mí y cree en la fundación. No está en la fundación, pero cree en mí.
She is concerned because of
My mother.
Well, her question pertains that experimental COVID shot that everyone is receiving. I'm not sure that we want to discuss that, do we?
No.
No podemos hablar sobre temas de salud, lo sentimos mucho.
Okay.
We do not interfere, or we do not discuss it. We try not to discuss this matter. Let me explain to you. Thank you very much for your time. Let me explain to you, for some of you, if you can switch off the microphones, please, in the background, Rick. Go back to some of the teachings at Valletta in Italy some 3-4 years ago. We go back and we shall revisit some of the knowledge which was transferred as knowledge seekers in Valletta. In the teaching, we explained about the position where you can hold your hand and create light in the palm of your hand. For the training purposes, for man to understand, to go through the next phase of evolution, of expansion of the soul of the man, go back to the teaching of the hand, where we explained that you can look in the palm of the hand and create gold, where you look in the palm of the hand and you will see light. This light can be the boundary of your soul. In a way, you extend your soul boundary to the palm of your hand. If you hold your hand out, if you hold your hand above your head and understand to create this condition of light, you will extend the fields of your soul beyond the physical boundary. This is why we always see the Prophet of God holding their hands to the Creator. It's the time when they can extend their souls beyond the physical boundary, and then the knowledge is received through the knowledge of the Creator, through the soul of the man. This is why we do this. This is why, if you see, man always looks at the physicality. If you can hold your hand out, is the furthest and the longest position in your body that can create that dome across around your body. When we raise our hand, and you can create a transfer, the extension of the soul of the man to the dimension of physicality of the man, then you can cover the total physicality, and then you become the light. You become the soul overtaking the physical body of the man. There is a reason hidden in the structure of the palm of the hand of the man, which man is not aware of it yet. It's the center point of the energy of the soul of physicality, if it needs to be transferred. And you can bring it in interaction with the soul of the man, and you create that light. You become invisible within the boundary of that light. If you hold your fingers towards yourself when you're creating that light, your fingers become the boundary, and the light will cover it. You become a new dimension. And the beauty of it is that you become that ray, like the arrow, where the soul of the man sits within the center of this light, and you can use it for transportation, as the soul of physicality dictates the position and the place where the soul has to go. Operation between the emotion of the physicality and the mind of the man and the soul of the man. So in the coming time, we'll teach you, we go back to those teachings, to extend your soul to the palm of your hand. And with it, will cover the whole of your physicality. Or become like the Prophet. Raise your hand, and then you become a sharper ray. You can travel faster within, you can receive more of higher order, what they call knowledge. This is why, I repeat again, the prophets always raise their hand, because they extended the soul to the dimension of soul of the physicality, in the dimension of physicality of the man. So if you're practicing to be able to extend your soul, learn how to transmute that energy through the dimension of soul of physicality, which is a blood. If you look at it when you hold your hand and it's folded right enough, the right way, you're holding a plasma, you're holding a sphere of plasma. And that can be the dimension as we said, where the inertia meets the soul of the man. In that position, you can create to extend the soul of the man to cover the physicality. Mankind still is not aware of a lot of potentials with its own physical dimension. And in time we learn. And we can convert these energies to anything you like. You like food, because we always feed ourselves with our hand. Get the energy of the universe within the palm of your hand. Create a lower field within it with the interaction of the soul of the skeleton and soul of the man, that it absorbs what you need, because through the circulation of the blood, the body knows what it needs, what field. And feed yourself. Mankind does not need to kill with his hand to feed the man. Mankind needs to understand the power which is hidden within the hand of the man, to absorb the energies of the universe, to feed the man through the cycle of the soul of the man. And this is the beauty of it. Hold your hand out, create the right condition, and you'll see the extension of your souls. And for the first time, you have the pleasure to become the light. We tried to teach it 4 or 5 years ago, but you were not ready for it. Now, some of you are ready to go through that transition to become that light. But you have to understand it. Don't do it because you want, and don't do it with a wish. You have to do it with total, what I call integrity of understanding the purpose of becoming the light. Any other questions?
Yes, Mr. Keshe, we have a question came in early here from God's Eye View in YouTube, and it's about, it's a Mohammed question, if you can cast your mind back to that time. Does Mr. Keshe know about Mohammed's night journey of Shab el-Miraj, in which the angel Gabriel ascended the 7 skies with the prophet, but refused to go any further because his body would not allow? So how was Mohammed allowed to go further than the angel Gabriel in the human form? And what are the 7 skies?
When you become the light, the fields of the energies of the Creator, you pass even the what you call the guidelines, the guidance, those who are to guide you, because you know the way more than they do. You know the path, and this guidance is a path to be able to meet with the Creator and no other purpose, to see how pure is the light of the Creator, that become part of it. You separate from your body when you reach that point. In a way, the physicality is no matter. You see, you leave the physicality behind, and anything which is connected to the dimension of physicality, and you become the light. And an interaction of the soul of the man with the soul of the Creator, that creates that what we call the light of knowledge. The what you call it's been explained as a fire in the different shapes and forms and different understandings. When you being given the status of a prophet of the what we call soul of the man in the dimension of totality, you become aware of a knowledge beyond the knowledge of the physical life of the man, and then you enter a totally different dimension. And Muhammad was in essence pure in soul, and he could go to reach the level of being part of the Creator. The only messenger in the human race we know, who has not made that final connection with the soul of Creator in dimension of which time, is Moses, because of the crimes he committed. Moses has no station in the station of the Creator as a prophet. He lost it when he chose the path of man. Muhammad went to extend that way, but Muhammad went into extension of converting people to become the believer in the Creator, which is different than Moses, which was revenge and total destruction. Any other question?
Thank you, Mr. Keshe. We have Ed with a hand up here, so perhaps he can ask his question.
Good morning, Mr. Keshe. I am wondering to what extent. Pardon?
Can you tell us who you are and where you're from?
I am Ed from Indiana in the U.S.
Yeah.
My question is, to what extent does understanding the ethos of the Creator of the universe affect the implementation of the plasma technology in the physical realm?
All of it. If you understand the knowledge of the Creator is the knowledge of what you call plasma technology. Is a way, a path to reach that point. It's a technology which leads you to that point, but this technology is not hammer and nails and aircrafts. It's a technology and knowledge of the work of the universe in the dimension of the fields of the universe. We have, unfortunately, no transformers and no screwdrivers.
So if one does not carry the ethos of the universe, there will just be a limitation on their ability to implement the technology in their dimension they've.
One way or another, man will find, will understand and implement it. Could be this century, could be next century, could be tomorrow. And it's understanding that some of the world leaders are reaching that point. Some of the world leaders are extensively reaching that point that the man needs the next cycle of knowledge and technology. We have reached our limitations. And as I said earlier on, when you listen to the speech of His Excellency President Biden of the United States in the opening of the United Nations, he refers to it. He refers to the new technology where we can handle viruses. The White House is fully aware of the technology which is on the table with the Keshe Foundation. It's just how to turn it, how to facilitate the new knowledge and technology. And the new administration is very, very bent backwards to bring new technologies that it leads to peace. It leads to new evolution in understanding of not the physical dimension, but other dimensions of the work of the man. We don't need to work to live, but we can all learn new technologies and evolve in different ways and directions. As he said in his speech, it's the first time in the administration of a United States president that US is not involved in any war across this planet. First time since Second World War. He's brought his nation under control, and he has withdrawn from all the points where there are wars, and is withdrawing the totality. After 76 years, it's the first time we see no wars where US has been involved or being involved in, and are withdrawing from all conditions, because they are aware a new technology is about to come. And we have made, as I informed the Iranian leadership, we have made the facilities in past weeks for a full transfer of technology to the United States and China. We have transferred by agreement that the Keshe Foundation know-how and technology will be transferred to Markray in signed agreements. And through it, we are ready to negotiate for transfer of technology in exchange for permanent peace. The same sits with the office of the Presidency of China and understood in Moscow. European community is the only community which will not be involved in any of the space technologies till the situation in Europe in respect to killing the scientists is resolved in Brussels, sponsored by the state of Belgium. This is something the Germans and the Italians and the French have to sort out on the table of peace negotiation. The only reason will be because if we give the knowledge, these people will create war out of it. European community will be kept out of any negotiation in space technology unless the situation with the state of Belgium in killing scientists and stealing technologies and all the things which goes with that nation. Brussels cannot be the center of a community which promotes and provokes killing of scientists and wars and other things which you know announced by United Nations being the center. We will achieve a transfer of knowledge and technology, and as I said, and I informed the Iranian leadership in the past 48 hours, Keshe Foundation has signed an agreement with Markray, and we are ready to transfer the technology into Arizona Keshe Foundation upon the instruction and approval of His Eminence Ayatollah Khamenei of Iran. That means we will discuss, we will release, and mankind will move into a new direction, dimension of technologies. And it's the same with us, with the Chinese in Xinjiang, where the Keshe Foundation Center is getting developed and centralized. The evolution in science has to come right across the communities, as we have. The same way will be with Brazil, and it'll be in Africa. We have to teach, and then many of us will take the dimension of the physical path of transportation, or some of us involved in understanding the process of the revolution, the evolution science of the plasma of the soul and physicality of the man. In a way, we decide we're going to walk it alone through the soul and the leg, or we go to an airport, get on a plane, or we call it a UFO. When you walk into the exhibition center in Linz, as you've seen, there's a structure of UFO immediately above the entrance. But when you go in the building, you will see like a dream of the past, what we had with the propulsion exits of the gases. With the rocket technology, you see 6 rocket ends inside the entrance hall. Massive size of as it comes. But we say goodbye to that propulsion system, and we say hello to the new physical dimension of UFOs, as you call it, or we choose the path of the traveling with the dimension of the energies of the universe and the matter state energies of the universe. But in essence, we have entered a new phase or rapid development of technologies and sharing across the planet with most of the nations. And we all go together, but we'll see. Yes, we can talk about this openly, because if you go to Markray, what we call OTC website, this has been written in, and you can see that it's already been agreed and signed into. And Arizona becomes the new center of space technology and information transfer. And I said, we will only transfer technology when peace agreement across not just 5+1, but all the nations agreed. And we'll come through the instructions from Iran, because the peaceful nation would instruct the whole structure of the new peace movement, but through science and technology. We will see in the next few weeks big changes. And we will see the beginning of the development of the sharing of the technologies and everything else. But as I said, European community, even though we are in Linz, will be totally isolated from this process in the, what I call civil organization, till the killing of scientists by this community has come to stop, because in the head of the European Space Agency is one of the biggest murderer of scientists and the banner of the Belgium director. And this has to be sorted out, and they will not be allowed on any negotiation table till the situation is sorted by Germany, Italy, and France. I told you that they went too far to create false court cases and everything, and now it's come to bite them. There will be no state of Belgium as a monarchy once we finish it. As a democratic elected nation will exist, but not as a monarchy. He has brought nothing but pain and suffering and killing and the rest of it. Now you understand exactly how mankind will move.
Thank you, Mr. Keshe. The essence of my question is, in a way, all that you have described is as the leaders of the earth agree to peace, you will release the technology to them. It's your decision. What I'm wondering is, though, is a man's elevation into the ethos of the creator, does that facilitate his ability to implement the knowledge of the plasma? Is there just, I mean, is it simply a decision of the overseers of the universe to not allow man?
This is the decision of the world leaders on this planet. You have two decisions, which are very simple. I explained the same thing to the Iranian leadership, the present Iranian leadership. We can choose to go through vaccination and enforce it the way we see, or we can go on the television and teach people how to make cup 1, cup 2, and in emergency cases, or the combination of the thing, to walk away from this mayhem we see today. Very simple. You put it on the television right across how people to help themselves, and see how many corona cases are reported. Or is there evolution now? Or we go through this present mayhem. This is the decisions of our leaders to decide. And then once they decide the correct way, the way that it helps people, then we'll see the next step. The only difference with vaccination and no vaccination in a free environment society as we used to have it 2 years ago, is putting 5 minutes, 10 minutes television program on all the channels of the TVs around the world to teach our people to make cup 1 and cup 2, as many of us have used it. Why are we choosing so much? According to President Biden, 4-point-something million people have died in past year from corona. We all die. But why another 3 billion on lockdown? Or put on the restriction everywhere, where it takes only a 10-minute program on television to teach people, and then clean up the environment the same way. This is vaccination versus knowledge that everyone carries. When I am in the middle of Amazon and I get another virus infection, Where am I going to go? To who? Or I have the knowledge, the way we've seen with the Brazilians, teach the people from Amazon, and they have themselves. And any virus comes, they can handle it. So it'll come to front very soon. And knowledge has to win, and not the bank accounts. We've seen in the past week, for the first time, the Iranian new President Raisi, has directly attacked Ayatollah Rouhani, the ex-president of Iran, in mishandling and stealing from Iran for vaccination. That as a president, he's taken the money from the West to get the nation to suffer from it. Our world leaders are making the suffering. And our present world leaders are those of the new generation which are bringing the change. We see it with Biden, we see it with Raisi, we see it with the new Russian president coming to office. He'll be the person will be very strong, but committed to peace. And this is part of the whole structure of understanding. It's the same with the nuclear industry. It has to be understood and how it's handled. We hear about the sanctions on Iran, but we don't hear Iran is building 2 furthermore power stations or contemplating on it. Because then they become energy. They just go for one side or the other. World leaders have come to understand to work for the totality as one, not as individuals and groups and what I call ganging up on each other. And the knowledge is there. Our leaders have chosen the bank account than to the technology. Until then, we all suffer. If you know that most of the people who are involved at different levels, something like 30% of each injection given to you goes into private accounts of somebody somewhere. If your nation is paying $100 for injection, €30 is in the pocket of your leaders. Otherwise, they won't sign it. That's why they're so memorized that everybody gets an injection. You're a head of a nation, 100 million injection, you made yourself $300 million. And then the second cycle, then the third cycle, and the rest of it. Jackpot. Every time one cycle comes in. Any other question?
Thank you.
Okay, I'm just looking over our questions here. I think we have a couple more in the YouTube. Okay, we have Jed from Hawaii, who says, aloha, this is Jed from Hawaii. Thank you so much for all these beautiful workshops. Is it possible to use the new fungus GANs in agriculture in a forest with trees infected with fungus? Thank you.
Yes, we have already used this and it works effectively. To understand the process, there's a special mixture for the funguses. Thank you very much for bringing this up. The Keshe Foundation put these gas funguses at the prices which had to be put. We have reduced it to a new price with a new value of the volume of it that become affordable. But in essence, yes, we have tested it in many places and is understanding the process of the fungus, as I explained before. And a new technology will be released by Keshe Foundation where you don't even need gases. And in that process, we'll teach you much. We have put our people into testing new technologies that we can do a lot of other things much easier than has been done up to now. Much easier. The fungus and disinfecting system founders, it's taken us a long time to get it exactly right the way we think it should be at the moment. You already have the GANs of viruses, which you have cup 1, cup 2, you carry in your pocket. When you did it, you can use it. Now, these are the ones. Yeah, this I see you put this on. The price has been reduced to $9.99. $99.99. It's been dropped by 100. It'll be edited sometime this week. And new products will come into to operation. We give you a pre-review of something very interesting. I love this thing, the way it will come in the structure of the Keshe Foundation. We show you what is to come. You will see it in lens very shortly. This is a version of what I call after fusing up bones. If you break a bone nowadays, it takes you weeks. This new technology, which Keshe Foundation will release in a very short while, it'll be something very much like this. This new system, where the loop is, where you put your hand through it, on the line of fracture, will create the process of rapid development. And you can walk away from the fracture within minutes, within hours. You don't need to be in plaster for months and everything else. We're working on this. It'll be released in a short while. And literally you put your hand through the ring at the point of the fracture. And the process of the healing will start through the dimension of the soul and physicality. And you will see rapid processes. Nowadays you go to for a fracture, and it takes you an hour or two to find the X-ray you, and then you have to sit for plastering. The time you sit for plastering nowadays to come out, over the time you'll sit and the whole bone fracture or break will heal and you go home. This knowledge plus other systems will be released. You will see them in the exhibition center. And it'll be in every hospital, more or less. Even the complex breakages and fractures, the bones can be created, and whether is as a shrapnel part of it, broken pieces, then can be removed from the tissues. You restructure the bone immediately as it is. And the same way, with the same holes, that you don't get problems in the future with losing some of the immune system created by the bone. We see this in a bigger dimension, especially for hip replacements and knee replacements, where at the present, when they cut the top of the, what you call femur, they create other complications in the body. We restructure with this new technology the whole of the hip directly as a part of the bone structure, as it was before. You will see new developments, new systems as it comes. And as I said, as part of what we have signed with Mark Ray and transfer of technology for peace, the first 48 vision units will leave for Arizona upon agreement between the nations in accepting the new technology and peace, which we hope will be very soon. Any other question?
Just a minute.
Keshe, sorry, Rick. Can
go
I
ahead,
ask
Dean.
Mr. Keshe
Sorry, go
question?
ahead. Yes, please.
Thank you. Thanks, Rick. Mr. Keshe, the Linz exhibition is now officially going to be opened, and we know there's many technologies within inside. Can knowledge seekers expect the fields to be part of their being? Can they expect to be involved in the fields that are going to be present within the actual the center itself? Once they actually come through the front door and experience it?
Nobody will be allowed in any of the systems. That's one thing. We did the same in the old exhibition center. Nobody will be allowed in any of the systems to go in between or whatever. This is what we call an exhibition center, and the systems are there to understand what is to come, but nobody will be allowed on the systems.
Ms. Keshe, the building itself is very impressive. We've seen from the pictures that from the outside, the spaceship configuration. And once you actually come inside the building, it's got this wonderful feeling as well. I think many knowledge seekers are going to experience and enjoy the experience of being present, as the same as many world leaders are going to come in and experience this, the plasma. I think the whole the building itself, it seems to resonate with everything that the technology and yourself has been brought forward for quite some time. So the building seems to match the foundation quite well on a physical level. On a soul level, it's a completely different experience. Will be a plasma experience once we actually, as I was trying to explain earlier, once people come through the door and experience plasma like all the knowledge seekers have all around the world for quite some time. So I think this would be a great experience for many people who've not been part of plasma. I think they will enjoy this experience and become very.
Yeah, we hope so. We hope so as we see the new cycle of knowledge seekers in what I call as a students, being undergraduate or university students, come through the door and they understand how their future has changed without them knowing, and how the future will change for them without them ever knowing what is just about to merge. We, in a way, when you look at the delays and everything else which we had over the past years and all the mayhems and good things, we needed that time to get to a point that everybody is ready to go. We get to the threshold of that's all that we can accept, what's new, that we can go and what can be done. And as I said, we'll see this in a coming time. It's a time of peace, and that was a wish of the Universal Council, and they've seen it, how easily they achieved it. War leaders from the head of and the emperors of the past centuries and everything else tried to make enclaves of pieces and nations which are peaceful, but the wishes of the Universal Council has brought even surpassed the wishes of the emperors. They wanted a peace in one section of this planet, but they brought peace to the whole of this planet. And I wonder what will be the next wish of the Universal Council and how fast can it be reached when it's collectively from all of them. And we've seen it. As I said, it was one of the most pleasurable time to listen to the speeches of His Excellency President Biden of the United States, saying that for the first time during the presence of the president, there are no wars. American forces are not involved in any war anywhere on this planet. And this is a huge step, because wherever there was a war, the Americans were in it. And amazingly, the same leader asked for new technology, understanding of new technology. And they know the technology sits there, but it's on the banner of protection of the Iranian flag as a Keshe Foundation knowledge in the space and development. And in a way, they have put the olive branch, and I said to the Iranian leadership, it's time for us to respond. And we have seen it. And I'm sure we will respond within the next few days. The Iranian government and the new administration will respond to the American administration as the negotiations are taking place in Washington as we speak. Because mankind is ready to go through this.
That this is taking place. Thank you so much.
Mankind is ready to go through the peace process. And mankind is ready to take that step, but it needs to build the trust that it can be done. It can be responsible for its destiny in the space. Any other question?
I have many, Mr. Keshe, but I think I will let other people come forward at this point. It's the exhibition centre and the feelings that are generated within the peace movement that is being brought forward now by yourself and the foundation is that stronger feeding the weaker is definitely affecting, as you said, through the Universal Council and the wishes of the knowledge seekers as well, because they add to the field strength with their intentions and thoughts. And once we put these wishes forward to the Universal Council, it, as you rightly pointed out, it seems to change the conditions very, very quickly. And those wishes are incredibly beautiful and a field strength that is reaching far and wide across this planet and bringing about these conditions of beauty that the foundation teaches. So it's quite an amazing time, and the exhibition in Linz and all the people that are involved in it and helping out diligently and serving and giving so much are bringing about this wonderful change. And it's an honour and a pleasure to be part of it. So thank you very much, Mr. Keshe. Thank you.
We are receiving message and news from Tehran that today, most probably, the Keshe Foundation, Tehran, Iran Keshe Foundation, will sign into the first factory in Tehran. And this is a milestone for our knowledge seekers. If they complete this today, the first factory producing GaNs technology in Iran today will take shape. As we started with the teaching and then opening an office. And today is a milestone. We wish, I hope that our Iranian team can finalize their position. And the first factory in Iran will be set to start producing the GaNs production materials in Iran. And that's another step for milestone for many of us. As I said, we are still in process of negotiating for the first spaceship city in Iran. And on completion of it, all the world leaders and nations will be invited to be part of the new space technology. Any other news or any other question, or shall we call it a day?
Hey, Mr. Keshe,
sorry about that.
Would you like to...
We just received information from Tehran. It says we have signed the initial contract for the first factory. Thank you very much for the Iranian team. And I thank especially Azar, who's been such a great support in her time in Tehran with the Keshe Foundation team in Iran. They have just signed themselves into the first factory to produce technology back in his motherland. There's a lot to come. We're hoping to open the factories in Brazil, the Mexico factory, which is under the cover of the Mark Ray, has gone into operation last week and they start serving the community. And we'll see more and more of these across with all the Keshe Foundations. Anyway, congratulations to the Iranian team. It's been a long, hard effort to get there.
Okay, if you'd like to end now, we have one hand left up, but if you'd like to end things, we can do that, Mr. Keshe.
Yeah, if you want one more question.
Okay, it's from Salamia. You have a hand up. Go ahead. Hello, Salamia. Not able to hear your voice right now. Yeah, there seems to be some trouble with the microphone there. How about one question from Nanoplasma in the Q&A here, who says, thanks for the love and knowledge donated. How to know when we are ready to be space passengers?
We already are. Not to know, we already are.
Yes, indeed. Okay, Mr. Keshe, I think we've worn you out enough for today.
Thank you very much. We welcome you to your new center. I'm sure we'll see many of you in the exhibition center. Then please make sure when you come in, you bring your certificates for corona, or you've been infected or you've been injected. And if you don't worry, we make facilities for you to be able to be tested and confirmed by the, what they call the Austrian national system, and you can enter. We don't accommodate we don't want more than 30 people, 40 people. Then we have full control of everything, and then gradually it's open for you to come across around to be part of the, what we call Keshe Foundation knowledge seekers. And we'll see what will happen and how things will take shape in the coming weeks and months. And as I said, it's not the time, how long we teach, it's how much we teach that we understand. And if you understood today, teaching, it's another milestone in understanding the difference between different ways of living than traveling. And we hopefully see you on the 400th teaching of the Keshe Foundation next week. And then we'll take a new shape and we'll see how things turn up in the time to come. Thank you very much, Rick. If you want to play the video of the exhibition center and the usual things, and say goodbye.
Yeah, can play that again. Let's see, I'll have to get that lined up. I've kind of lost it here, but just give me a minute. And okay, let me just find it here.
I'm sure you're going to keep us posted tomorrow. Once the announcement that you've been disqualified or you've been put on the 4th or the 5th position.
Well,
it'll be for NASA to let you win. You know what
it'll
that
be very interesting to see the results of all that, that's for sure.
Yep.
Okay, here is the exhibition center video once again, and we'll have some few ads to go out with, and that'll complete our workshop for today. And I thank everyone for being part of the 399th Knowledge Seekers Workshop here on Thursday, September 23rd, 2021. And we look forward to the One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace coming up Tuesday. What's the date on that? It's Tuesday, September 28th. And that'll be at, is that the 8 p.m.? No, sorry, that's at the 4 p.m. Central European time. And of course, again, the Greek conference, I just put a link in the chat there where people can connect with the Facebook group for Beyond Books publication, and they can give more details on how to access that conference. Just put that in the YouTube while I'm thinking of it. Put that in while we play the video here. So let's play the video and we'll carry on. Bye for now, everyone.
Innovative, revolutionary, stellar development, purest universal knowledge. In a transformative, futuristic design. The Universal Body Enhancement Spaceship Unit. The very first new evolutionary spaceship technology has been rolled out for mass production. Our Universal Body Enhancement Spaceship Unit is constructed from high-quality materials carefully selected by our team of experts. Embedding the essence of the new GANS plasma science and technology, it uses collective plasma field technology for changing and enhancing the environment of the body of the man. This new plasma enhancement changes the environment of the body to allow it to return to its natural balanced energetic condition, as in the womb of the mother, allowing every cell in the body of the man to find its natural original field strength balance. The shape and field distribution in this new space plasma technology replicates the inner structure of the universe and replicates the balance fields from which the man was created at the point of inception in the womb of the mother, not only receiving balance in the physical, but also in the emotional sense too. For the first time in the history of man, a system has been developed and delivered which not only enhances the physical body of the man, but also enhances the emotional part of the user of the system, hence reducing and eliminating many problems that could not be solved in the world of science, to bring the body of the man into near perfection, as at the time of birth. This new spaceship technology can be within the reach of every man today and can be ordered by medical practitioners, sports specialists and healthcare centres. The Universal Enhancement Spaceship Unit, the future you have been waiting for, is here. The journey from space to spaceship technology has started. Every order is subject to a contractual agreement and might require additional accessories priced separately for applications according to each case. You can order or contact us at office@at.kfm.global for additional information. Hello. We are the Keshe Foundation. Our mission is to bring peace on Earth and join humanity with the universal community. We wish and work to bring man as equal to all beings in the universe. By teaching plasma science and technology equally to everyone, no one is left out and no one is abused due to lack of knowledge. By donating to us, you can help achieve this goal. KesheFoundation.org/donate